What is good, YouTube? We're back with another quick training for you guys. This video is literally just going to be going over one of the simplest things you could easily do to actually 10x your bookings that actually get to 100 new clients a month, right? So you guys are watching on YouTube, you're watching the channel. I recommend you guys just sit down, start taking notes, right? And find out the exact process that we use to take my clients like Larry to, $100 a cut, 100 new clients per month, or, Seth was charging $80 while still being a high schooler hitting 10K months. So let's just jump straight into the video without further ado. It's going to be really valuable training for you guys. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. What is good, YouTube? A little bit shorter of a video today, but I want to highlight for you guys this one skill that's really helped me, right? And I teach it to literally all the clients that I work with. And that is literally just being able to actually give a good transformation within your videos, right? And just for context, right, just so you guys can tell that I'm not just, talking out, my butt, bro. Larry has used this exact same skill to gain over 100 new clients per month, right? And go from $40 a haircut to $100 a haircut in 4 months, which was able to take him from just making 4K a month as a barber to actually now being able to hit his first 10K a month as a barber, as you guys can see right here. And then not just Larry, but we've also taken David all the way up to 20K per month just off cutting hair alone using this one skill, right? And that simple skill is mastering the transformation, right? Because everybody on Instagram is posting before and after transformations, but not everybody knows how to actually do this the optimal way to actually convert 100 new clients a month, right? And that's why most of you guys are probably watching this and probably at 3 to 4K a month. You probably haven't actually developed the skills to convert 100 new clients a month, right? Most barbers, what they do, what I like to call the before and before, or you guys like to post transformations, but really nothing is changing, right? There's nothing really going on in the transformation that's really changing, right? But in order to actually convert clients at a high price point, you must show a drastic transformation in order to actually, achieve new bookings, right? Because you can have the best content, but if your transformation looks the same, what are the clients actually paying for, right? I'll be the first to tell you guys, clients, they're not paying for a haircut. They're not paying for your low taper fades, right? They're paying for confidence and a problem being solved, right? When you look at the barbers that are charging the highest prices, their clients, look like a whole new person. And you're going to see in the comments people being like, he transformed his look, made him a whole new man, right? Your goal should be clients looking like a whole new, right? That should be your goal, right? And there's a few ways that I do this, right? So we can get into some examples here, but the first basic rule of thumb I like to have with anybody who's like a straight hair client or anybody that can just comb their hair, right? Because there's a lot of different ways you can actually do this, but you want to exaggerate the transformation. That means that the hairstyle that they come in with has to be different than the hairstyle that they leave with. That means that if they're getting a textured fringe, right? That means that for the before, you either need to put their hair, almost like the rule of opposites, I call it, right? So if their hair is going to be forward for a textured fringe, you need to either give them like a flat slick back or a side part, right? For the before. And then after, you can style up the fringe, make it really fluffy, right? And do stuff like that, right? Now, if they're going to be getting a middle part, you guys are going to start seeing the pattern here. If they're getting a middle part or a slick back, right? What you guys need to do is comb the hair forward, right? So comb hair forward, almost make it like a bowl cut, almost make it covering their face. You guys see the vision here? So let's say the client has like curls, right? Like kind of loose curls, right? Or even if they have like coarse hair, right? What you can do is comb out this hair, pick out this hair, right? And make their hair frizzy. If they come in and you make their hair look really flat and you style it really fluffy and textured after, that's a transformation. That's what people are paying for, right? If their hair comes in looking all flat and has no flow or anything, again, this is solving the problem. But the reason that people pay to have a problem solved, right, is obviously because, no other barber can do this. But you can talk about the problem all you want. You can script out your videos all you want. But if there's no visual change being represented, if there's no visual to the problem being solved, if I can't see with my eyes, I'm not convinced and I'm just not going to pay. Right. If a client has coarse hair, curly hair, right, what you do is pick out the hair, make it frizzy, and style it for the after. Make sure the curls are hydrated, and you either do like a curl sponge or you put some leave-in in there, maybe a diffuser, right? It's all about styling the hair and connecting it back to how it solves a problem, right? Let's say you're someone who specializes in lineups, right? With the lineups, you need to create, this illusion that they have a big problem with their hair, right? So this could mean, exaggerating a widow's peak, right? Or exaggerating a cowlick or light spot that people have, right? Just making everything exaggerated, right? So let's say you're focusing on light spots. You want to take your comb and actually be able to comb up the corners and make the light spots look more crazy than they are, right? A lot of you guys are doing this, right? Look at his before and after. This is my client Pharrell. We've been working with him for a while, but when he first came to us, he was doing before and afters like this. Look at his hairline, This is my client Pharrell. We've been working with him for a while now. As you guys can see, when he does these befores, right? It's like to what I call before and before, right? Let's go on one that actually has like a before and after. So this is my client Joker. We've been working with him for a while, right? But when we first kind of started working with him, the main issue was that his hairlines look the same for the before and after, right? Now that we've been working with him for a while, notice how he really exaggerates the difference in the hairline, right? He focuses on either light corners, right? Widow's peaks, or just people not having a hairline and having a big forehead and getting a front taper for the first time. He does all these things to actually exaggerate the problem rather than just kind of leaving it how it is, right? Take this other example from my client Caleb, right? We just started working with him, and one of the things we had to fix within his content was this kind of before and before that we kind of have going on, right? So I can see his client already comes with the hair styled, right? The client already comes with the hair all fluffy, and it's really just not going to do anything, to create a drastic transformation, right? But instead, let's take my client Larry, right? In every video, right, he comes in with the client, doing almost like this little cheek puff thing. Like, you can do a lot with it, right? And he comes with the hair styled, right? And it just covers up his forehead and it gives a completely different look, right? You can even take this a step further with your transformations by adding on props, right? To just make the client look aesthetic overall. Either having them like do a double chin, or having them mew at the end, or even tossing on like earrings or a chain, whatever you need to actually create that image of confidence, right? Because at the end of the day, these people are paying for a problem to be solved, and they're paying for confidence. So if your transformation doesn't clearly demonstrate the client gaining confidence, right, people aren't going to pay. Let's look at one more example. This is a before and before. Larry's client comes in with the hair already fluffy, right? This just isn't going to convert as much as a video like this, where the client comes in looking like a nerd with a big forehead, and he's going to leave looking like he has confidence, and he's smiling in the after and stuff like that. Just by focusing on these few things, right, this is really all you need to actually start converting. And again, you guys could have the best videos, you guys could have the best whatever the case might be, but if your transformations aren't showing that you solve a problem and you actually bring confidence to the clients, nobody's going to book with you, no matter what price point you're charging. Simple little trick. It shouldn't take too long, so just go ahead and implement this in your next consultation video or before and after video right away. So guys, that's pretty much going to be the end of the video. I know it was a little shorter, but hopefully it's a pretty simple and straightforward training for you guys. And if you guys just go ahead and apply all this information into your business, right, you guys should see some type of increase in your bookings. Really simple, really easy. And you guys already know, if you want the same clients like everybody else is getting that you guys see on this page or you see on my YouTube channel, just go ahead and book a call, link in bio. We'll see how we can help you out and get you scaling right easy. That is, already know what to do. Don't keep scrolling, just start taking action, man. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it's valuable, and yeah.